And we're live on a crazy...
It's all about the rock and roll coochie coo. Felt a little spicy today.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you.
Ooh.
Give me a bottle of anything. And a glazed donut. To go.
To go.
You had no idea what I was thinking today. And then you just said that.
That's crazy, dude. I love that album.
I'm gonna make it so quite clear. Yeah. Hi, boys and girls.
Yeah.
He's Chris. I'm Mike. Or maybe not. Maybe it's the other way around.
Hey, we can do it backwards today.
So Mike's like, hey, dude, I'm going to name a band. I want you to tell me your favorite album. And then I was like, he had no idea that I had one of my crates of my albums out. This is fun because I didn't realize that was what was inside this. This is Alter Bridge Walk the Sky double album. Check out what's inside of it as I just opened it up.
Let me see.
Fucking autograph picture.
Oh, that's
Right?
awesome.
So it was captivating to me or intriguing when we talked to Neanderthal because I asked the question, why isn't Alter Bridge why aren't they famous? And he's,
I loved his
hit.
answer.
Because they've never had that one hit.
Yeah.
Which is mind-boggling to me because I'm a fan.
As am
so
I.
I'm skewed, right? But some of the stuff, it blows my mind that they didn't. It's not a hit.
Well, he
like-
kept
go
using
ahead.
that word stank, right? And
Yeah.
for people that don't understand what that means, it means there's an
Stanky.
intangible quality to
Right.
your music that you cannot understand why people like certain bands. Why are
Yeah.
AC/DC the biggest band in the world? It's because they write great songs,
Mhm.
but they also have an intangible quality that nobody can ever put their finger on. They just understand it makes them
Right.
want to move.
Right.
For some reason, Alter Bridge just never made anybody want to move on that level except you
Right.
and I. And,
And
They haven't-
they still,
they sell
and
out theaters and
They do. The both times I've seen the marquee, it was packed. It legitimately was this. Thank God I was on, right here's the stage. But when I turned and looked, it's like, holy shit. So you can't see an open space.
no, and people
So-
are missing out because they are a fantastic live band.
Oh,
just
yeah.
perfection,
And the cool thing about the second time I saw them, the opening act was Mammoth. His first
awesome.
real, right? And then obviously the relationship with them and Wolfgang carried over to their latest album where they recorded the entire thing in the 5150 studio at Eddie's house.
And there's another great band that people should give a chance if you haven't listened to Mammoth, which was Eddie's son's band, Wolfgang.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
He played every instrument on the album,
Uh-huh.
rock and roll style, just like Prince did in the pop world,
Yep.
Oh, Invasion of Your Privacy.
Uh-huh. Dude, you're in love.
Oh, that's
Lay it down.
one of
right?
Laying Down is one
No,
of my favorite guitar
fuck
riffs
yeah.
of all time.
Yes.
That and
Thank you.
Unchained might be the two best
Yes.
ever written.
Yeah, just the opening riff of "Lay It Down" was fucking fantastic.
You cannot not hit the
fucking
volume
fantastic,
knob
yeah.
when that happens.
No, remember these guys?
David, what was their hit, dude?
Boomtown. Welcome
Thank
to the
you.
Boomtown.
Oh, that's a great song.
It is. That's the only reason. Miss Katrina drives in 944.
Oh,
Satisfaction oozes from a pole.
That's a hit.
Uh-huh.
remember in
only
The
hit.
Sopranos when they go to, what's his name? The Jewish guy that, Hesh. They
Hesh,
go to
yes.
Hesh, and he's
Yeah.
running the record label, and
Yeah.
like, I don't hear a hit.
Uh-uh.
It's like, well, what's a hit? And he's like, I don't know, but that's not it.
Yep. So this is funny. True story.
Oh, I was gifted that record.
You want to know the true story?
Yes.
I lost my virginity to this album.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I've never actually acknowledged that to the girl that I lost my virginity to. So if you're watching this show, you know who you are. You
knows.
did. You popped my
knows now.
cherry. That's Rainy Rose live and live. Now, here's another one. This is a disappointing. If it's disappointing now because the lead singer is a small blimp. And because it's such a phenomenal voice, and it's just so sad to see that he's allowed himself to get so unhealthy.
Really?
Yeah, Mike Reno, dude, is fucking. It's so unhealthy.
I haven't seen him these days, but what a voice back in the day.
Oh my God, right? Unbelievable voice.
I don't know if I've ever admitted this, but Hot Blooded is what made me want to play guitar.
Really?
Yeah, I heard that riff on the radio when I was super young. Whenever that came out, I might have been 8, 9.
So here's, everybody has a little bit of gayness in them. Here's my gay side.
I was gonna say, what are you trying to say? Loverboy's gay?
No.
10,000. Oh, I love 10,000 Maniacs.
Right, I know, but a lot of people are like, dude, you're gay. Well,
no, you're a songwriter, and they write great songs.
Oh yeah, and Natalie Merchant, dude, is fucking
what a voice.
Yeah.
God dang, I don't have my glasses. I don't recognize that one.
It's Cheap Trick, Dream Police, one of the most underrated bands ever. When they were inducted to the Hall of Fame, it was just a lineage of who's who that is just. They're one of those bands.
Well, here's a great example. When Chris logged on, I was jamming, as I usually am. I use that as practice time.
Right.
About 80% of the licks he was listening to were directly stolen from Cheap Trick themselves. Oh, yeah. Robbie Krieger and the boys.
Yep. The Doors. Sold more albums than the Beatles in the 60s in America. The Doors did.
That's a fact?
That is a fact. They were the biggest band in America. They were the biggest band in America. So these guys, I had 113 pictures of them on the walls when I was a teenager.
Oh, I had quite a few myself too.
Yep.
This
guy just died, Francis.
Yeah.
He's dead.
Poor
the disappointing thing is when they had a VHS of this, right? Of this entire album, which was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I watched it about a bazillion times myself.
Yeah, to where the little lines of the VHS start crackling.
Yeah, the bottom's all fuzzy and
right. So I found it online. I found it on YouTube, and I was disappointed because either number one, I don't remember it how I thought I did, and number two, it wasn't the same cut. It's like they cut a bunch of stuff out, which I was like, well, that's fucking stupid.
You know, another one that happened to for me that I watched a million times as well was that Priest Live that came out in the 80s. I've never found a decent copy of that.
Yeah. So when I was a child, I didn't understand what eat 'em and smile meant. I do now.
We get it.
And this, I saw David Lee Roth on this tour.
I like Tobacco Road. I did too. He opened up for Cinderella.
Yeah, he was headlining when I saw him.
Or wait, excuse me. I got that backwards. Cinderella opened up for, yes.
So there you go, yeah. And it was at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum. And I remember the cool thing that he did. This was the height of him, I think, because he was phenomenal. He didn't miss words.
That record is outstanding, dude.
He wasn't drunk. He wasn't an asshole. He just sang. He was a showman. It was pretty cool.
He had Steve Vai, Billy Sheehan.
Yep. And he surfed. He had this giant surfboard from the back of he did the U2.
Yeah.
Back of Veterans Memorial Coliseum, and he surfed down onto the stage.
I saw him at the Peoria Civic Center.
Okay, same thing. Cool.
I must have been about 15, maybe. Oh,
cool.
One of the greatest selling albums of all time.
Right. So when I dropped Little Man off today, I was wearing my red shirt that says vinyl on it, and the teacher that patrols the playground, he's like, "Are you into records?" How'd you guess? Because I could have been a dick. What do you think, dumbass? But I was like, yeah, man, what's up? This 15-minute conversation about vinyl records and sound systems and shit. When his dad came home from Vietnam, he brought all the speaker shit with him because they weren't selling that shit in America. So he package mailed home like Pioneer speakers and turntables and shit, and like had the whole setup. I'm like, that's cool.
That's awesome.
Just from wearing my vinyl shirt. The Unforgettable Fire, the one that now the cool thing about this one, it was the promo.
Oh, that's awesome.
The promo.
I got a good one for you. Yesterday, I was walking out of the casino, and I'm wearing my Sacred Reich shirt.
And that was
the only guy out of the whole casino. He was walking in. As I was walking out, he's like, "Hey, man, nice shirt."
Right on.
I say, "Yeah, we opened up for him about 200 times, so we had to stop and talk about it for a second."
Very cool. Now, you had referenced AC/DC.
Oh, is that the Power Up album?
Yes.
I like that album.
Yep.
They took some shit for that one, but what are you going to do when your primary songwriter dies?
Right. power.
I think there's some good stuff on there. I jammed that
There's-
on my way
yeah.
back and forth to Michigan one time.
Oh, right on. What else we got in the record collection today? Oh, look at these young bucks.
That would be the Rolling Stones, my
The
friend.
Stones, the big hits, High Tide and Green Grass, the Rolling
Call me
Stones.
crazy, but if they keep practicing, I think they're going to become something.
Yeah, probably. The cool thing about this album is the inset, it's paper. So if I can do this out ripping, it's paper. Like it's just paper. You know what I mean? It's like a book. It's like
Oh,
a
that's
collage
cool.
Yeah, that's what we miss today in albums. And then, ironically enough, like Neanderthal was talking about, albums are coming back, and this was probably like $5, and now they're like 50.
I've seen CDs that are out of print that people are asking just outrageous money for, which is why I don't own a copy of that Badlands album that him and I talked about.
Yeah. One of the bands that Neanderthal loves.
Oh yeah, me too.
And had it not been for Motley Crue, they would have been huge. Because they came
I
out at the
saw
same
them
time.
live.
Oh no,
at least
Guns N' Roses.
twice.
Okay.
And we actually opened up for a version of their band when they weren't touring as Tesla. They called themselves the Sofa Kings. We were on that
right
bill.
Okay, cool. Leonard Skinner. Everybody's got to have a Leonard Skinner album.
Oh yeah, Gold and Platinum is the best one to have if you don't have them all.
Yeah. The only song I don't like on here is Freebird.
Well, we like it. It's just come on now.
It's so overplayed, man. I
But
get
I'll tell
it
you what,
already.
One of the last songs that came on my drive home yesterday was Saturday Night Special, and I about blew my speakers out of my car listening to that one.
Yeah, that's a good one. 5150 time.
Another great riff, 5150 itself.
Uh-huh.
So here's a good story. There's a
Okay.
guy named, I've never pronounced his name right. It's like SIPOICW on Instagram, Sipowicz or something like that.
Sipowicz, yeah.
He plays that song on his Instagram page. Sammy Hagar comments on it. Put your money where your mouth is. Come play with us at the Sphere. That just happened about, I don't know, 2 weeks ago.
Right on.
And he killed it, dude.
Cool.
Young kid, probably in his 20s. But how cool is that of Sammy to say, put your money where your mouth is. Come jam with us.
Okay, Sammy, you liked my comment about coming on the show. Let's go, dude.
Yeah.
This is the actual Mechanical Resonance
Call your
album.
bluff.
Yeah, this is the actual debut album. And I think it was Guns N' Roses that Neanderthal said, had this not come out the same
Appetite
time
for Destruction.
Appetite came out, that would have been a whole different thing.
But
One of the greatest,
is that not one of the greatest openings to an album ever?
Oh,
That
fuck
dueling guitar shit going on?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. What's the first song on that?
Modern
Easy
Day
Come,
Cowboy.
Easy Go. Yeah.
Or Easy Come, Easy Go. You're right.
Go. But check it out. Easy Come, Easy Go. Coming at You Live. Getting Better. Too Late for Love. Right out the gate, those first four songs are phenomenal.
And
then,
Little Susie's a kicker for, it's
Yeah.
supposed to be kind of like a ballad, but it's not really a ballad.
Right. But then side two is Modern Day Cowboy, Changes, and Little Susie.
Changes is such a great song.
Fucking A, dude. So you have 7 songs on this album that made the charts at some level.
Time's making changes.
Right? Look at you. And you
just can't forget that melody.
Yeah, there's one line that I love. I think it's Coming at You Live. I can't believe. No. It's Too Late for Love. I can't believe this fucking world in which we're living in.
Yeah.
Still, I do the best that I can.
See, look at you in that melody. You just can't forget those great songs.
Oh yeah. One of the greatest live performers ever, as far as an entertainment value, and just fucking an unsung rock star.
Oh,
yeah. Bob
and all
Seger.
around humanitarian. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bob Seger. Now a lot of people don't know this. Okay, a lot of people are going to be like, "What the fuck is that, man?"
It's got to be David Bowie.
Planet P. Billy Thorpe.
Oh,
this was his
Children
little
of the
site.
Sun.
Yes. Or no, was it Billy Thorpe? No. No. I'm sorry. It wasn't Billy Thorpe. It was fuck. The song on here is Why Me is badass. You got to look at, if you haven't heard that song, you need to find that song. It's fucking, I'll see if I can find it on YouTube and just play the opening riff because it's outstanding, man. The whole beginning of it is why I like it. It's the opening riff of it. Just the music itself. Tony Carey. I'm sorry, Tony Carey. Tony Carey's the singer.
What year did this come out?
Hold on. And it had to be in the 80s.
It looked very 80s.
I just got a Christian mic so I can.
I was convinced it was David Bowie, but I don't have my glasses on.
One of the Why Me? He references won't be back this way till 2010. So, and he passed away not too long ago. It's from Geffen Records. I don't have a date. I don't have a date on it. Why me? Why me? Oh shit! Why me? Planet P. I'm thinking they have a video. Oh, they do have a video. That's right. Okay, so let's do that. This is the opening riff of it. Can you hear it?
Yep.
Wait for the groove to come.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. I remember that.
That's pretty fucking legit in the headphones, man. Pretty fucking legit in the headphones, dude. So that's Planet P. Why me? Tony Carey.
I love stuff
and he
like
also,
that too.
Tony Carey also did. It was a really cool song. First Day of Summer. You'll probably recognize it when I put it in.
I think I know it just by the title.
And it's a fine day. It's fine day. For
I know
reunion.
that song for sure.
So this is Tony Carey. Come on. Oh, damn it, Jim. Wrong button. Oh, I'm missing the intro. I'm missing the beginning. Damn it.
There you go.
There it is. Of course, this is a cheesy ass video because it's the 80s.
That's a great beat, though.
Yeah, this fucking stupid video. And he also has what was the other one? Tony Carey.
Well, that's one thing to blame for Billy Squires' demise was
Rock Me Tonight.
Rock Me Tonight video for sure.
Yep. Yep.
And by demise, I mean he's still cashing all those checks every week on his way to the bank.
Yeah. So this is a cool story song from Tony Carey. It's a fine day. This is Uncle Sonny. Sonny Lombardini, mobster type shit. But so this is the lead singer for Planet P.
Okay. That song's actually in my playlist somewhere.
Yeah. I always thought the video was cool because he's sitting there kind of singing, talking to the guy at the desk, kind of telling a story.
That is cool.
Yeah.
It's better than the cheesy 80s video by a landslide.
Right. I loved his voice. He had a cool voice, man. It's got that little quiet rasp,
Yeah, so there's that intangible that you can't teach someone.
Yeah. See, just a fine right there, little.
Yeah.
That little rasp, man. That little rasp was cool.
You have the same intangible quality.
Oh, thank you, Mike. So that's Tony Carey. So here's another one I pulled out of the thing.
Well, first album I ever bought with my own money.
Oh, right
True
on.
story.
And talk about breaking onto the scene. I did a movie that never left the tin can. What the fuck was it called? I played this really wicked, like just sadistic dude that there's a scene in it where there's a dungeon, and I'm up in the room, and from the back you can see I'm pleasuring myself and dropping into a tube. Okay, and then the tube goes down to the dungeon and the women are there feeding off the tube. But the opening song he was using was Too Late for Love. This is how old this movie was, okay? I'm walking through Sky Harbor, no permits. I have I have a movie set 9mm in my hand. Okay, like in my hand,
and no one says anything.
walking through one of the terminals just with the gun in my hand, and he's the cameraman's going backwards because I'm walking, and they're coming up from the feet, all the way up, and they zoom in on the eyes, fucking Sky Harbor, man.
That's crazy. Did anybody say anything?
No, because it was middle of the day, man. I don't remember if anybody was fucking in there. It was just one of those things, dude. Just fucking crazy.
The deep cut off that Pyromania album that I like that very few people ever mention is Billy's Got His Gun.
Yeah,
I love that song.
Tune. Yeah.
It's the longest ending in the history of the world.
Yeah.
That's the first Whitesnake incarnation.
Yep.
That's
Fool
what
for your lovin'.
John Sykes, man. He's one of the baddest guitar players to ever pick up the guitar.
So, speaking of guitars, some people in the office the other day were talking about there's a documentary for Red Hot Chili Peppers on Netflix, which I didn't know.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one yet.
I
the
haven't
Paul
either.
McCartney one on Amazon Prime, I cannot recommend enough. Man on the Run.
Okay.
It's an hour and 55 minutes that feels like about 25.
Okay. So that one, the Peppers, it wasn't an argument. It was just a discussion. They swear John Forsythe's the best guitar player. Frusciante is the best guitar player around right now. And I'm like, really? I'm like, better than Prince came to mind. I'm like, better than Prince. Well, Prince is dead, so yeah. I don't think I agree with that because I just don't think I agree with that.
He is a bad musician, man.
He is, but I don't think he's the best.
He's up there.
Yeah.
Just not for his technical playing ability, for his ability to put such complex chord structure together.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's the hard part about when you start getting into who's the best. It's like the best at what?
Yeah.
Is he there's people when you say Malcolm Young is one of the greatest guitar players ever, they'll go, no, he's not. And then there's an argument, right? Because technically, was he the greatest? No, he used like 5 chords in his whole career, but he sold over 150 million records using those 5 chords. So
right.
We have to define what's the best. I know where you're coming from, and from your mindset, no, technically maybe not. Oh Jesus! Now talk about technical ability. Rush's 2112 for those of you who are just listening. One of the greatest albums ever recorded.
Right.
I just read a funny story with Geddy Lee. He said now that they're going out on this tour and he hasn't been playing those songs in a long time, he said, I didn't realize how hard those songs were to play when we were in the middle of all of it because you're doing it all the time. But when you've been away from it for a while and you have to relearn it, to hear that from Geddy Lee, it makes you feel better as a player, right? Because we all have those same problems.
Yeah. So when Alter Bridge came to Arizona the first time I saw them, this was the album that they were touring, which 21 songs.
What an honor to be able to play there.
And you didn't realize that because I was like, wow, this has been a long show. Because
for those of you who are listening, he's holding up the Live at the Royal Albert Hall album. You have to be invited to play there. You just, that's an honor.
Yeah.
It's not just another gig, even for a band that size.
Right, and it's Alter Bridges with the Parallax Orchestra. But kid you not, most bands play 13 to 15 songs. They played 21 songs, and legit, it blew my mind. Like, we're still here. I'm like, they got to be done. They got to be done sooner or later. They played because nobody knew this was the end product. So what we heard in Phoenix, which I think was a second or third date, they ended up touring for over a year and a half, and then finishing in England. And he fucking nailed everything. Miles did. Nailed it.
Awesome.
There's in the where is it? Waters Rising, they never play that live. There's a sequence in there where Miles, like, I can hold a note for pretty long.
Yes, you can.
This dude puts everybody to shame. Not only does he hold a note, he keeps going higher and higher with it to where you think he's just there. No.
Pushes it once. Yep.
This is unopened, by the way, kids. Never opened. Just unbelievable. This is the funny thing about Mike and I. So when we were pre-show, he was like, "Dude, I'm going to ask you. I'm going to name a band. You're going to tell me what your favorite song is." I'm like, "Dude, you have no idea what I had planned for today."
I didn't either. Another reason I wanted to play guitar.
Right. That literally was the first heavy metal album to ever reach #1 at the time.
Yep, that's true story. 1983, right?
Charts. Yep, on all charts. Amazing.
I remember walking around town with a boombox jamming Metal Health.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! That was. I did something. I was doing something for school or something, and I won it, so I got to pick what record I wanted or cassette I wanted. I Mental Health, Quite Right. My brother was like, "You fucking dumbass."
That's a question I've always had. If Randy Rhoads had stayed in Quiet Riot, would they have attained the success that they had after he left? Not because he left, but after he left.
I don't think so. I think they still. Because I think it was more Kevin Dubrow it was a voice, I think, more than and the imagery. Because the mental health video with the metal and shit.
I just saw it about a week ago on that Metal Mayhem show on MTV. Yeah, it was fantastic video for its time.
Yep, it was. And that's what you had to do to make it in the world back then. The MTV, you had to be on MTV. You had to have a catchy video that sparked interest and was played and requested all the time.
It's just weird how Kevin Dubrow needed more simplistic music in his life, and Ozzy needed more complex, and it all worked out for everybody, you know?
Yeah. Ozzy needed Randy.
He did.
I don't know if Ozzy's initial solo would have done what it did without Randy.
No, that was the spark he needed.
Yes,
for sure.
Yeah, because Ozzy's Ozzy. You know, you all know we love Ozzy, but I just think that without that element, you know.
I went and saw that tour.
Yeah,
I still like that album. They get a lot of shit, man, but they wrote great songs.
They did write great songs for sure. Absolutely. But to Neanderwal's point, you have people like Motley Crue, and nobody knows why they're huge. And Poison's much better than Motley Crue. So this is a record store find, which you can tell because of the drawings on it.
Oh, yeah. Born to Run.
You know, the drawings. So if you've never watched anything about the E Street Band, there's documentaries. Go watch that. Because Bruce Springsteen wouldn't be anything without Steven Van Zandt. He'd be nothing.
100%.
Absolutely nothing. I don't care what you say. Go watch the documentary and you'll realize it.
Very rarely is there not a songwriting duo. You know?
Yep. There's Cheap Trick again tonight. Heaven Tonight.
Oh yeah.
Well, and just the E Street Band. The whole. I gotta fix this. My OCD. The whole background, like
that
everybody
sound
thinks that
was his image.
Right.
He was the image, and the sound backed up what he was portraying. It was an act on all their parts, but it worked. Right.
And the other thing too, that the foundation of that sound, the image came from Jersey Shore, the Atlantic City stuff. So none of Bruce Springsteen wouldn't be who he is without all that. They pulled him up on stage. Bruce was just a rhythm guitar player, basically. He wasn't the forefront of anything. He just was there jamming with them. But that goes back to like the Beatles playing 12-hour shows and locking yourselves in a room and doing nothing but
I've heard Bruce say in interviews, I just wanted to be in the band. You could never predict this was going to happen or you'd be a liar, you know?
Right. Yep. But so many people just, you know, they just gravitate to Born in the USA and think that's the thing. And that's a protest song, boys and girls, in case you didn't know. We opened for these motherfuckers.
Yes, we did. Can't you see?
Don't remember any of these guys. I wasn't drunk or stoned at the time.
I think maybe one of the original members might have been there at the time. Maybe two.
You know, but still. Rain on a Scarecrow.
Oh, fantastic album.
So that touched me because my entire family, up to me and my parents, were farmers. So that was pretty, you know. So this holy shit, that is right. That's Michael Schenker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Before he left.
Yep.
And that's a crazy story because they were so worried that he was going to freak out over the songwriting or whatever. And he wanted out so bad. He basically signed a contract that said, it's all yours. I will never bother you again. Yep. He just didn't want to be pigeonholed into playing that same kind of music forever.
So some of the titles of the songs here. The first one, He's a Woman, She's a Man.
They were ready for the future,
They
dude.
were ready for the future, man. Shamrock Fever, Dark Lady, Speedy's Coming, Robot Man, Catch Your Train. And on the back, advertisements for 3 other albums.
That's how people did it back then. About every 9 months, an album came out.
Yep. Arguably one of the best Billy Joel albums ever, The Stranger.
Oh, couldn't agree more.
Arguably one of the best Supertramp albums ever.
Billy Joel's, yeah, I agree. Billy Joel's funny for me because I always think that I don't like Billy Joel till one of his songs comes on. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I love Billy Joel.
Yeah, same way. Same way, dude. It's the weirdest thing. This was an album that changed it was when I started drawing pictures of bands.
Oh, Escape.
Yep. And it wasn't necessarily Don't Stop Believing. Like, believe it or not, I'm the guy that I like Stone in Love. I liked Escape, Lay It Down, Mother, Father. I like the heavy riffs. Like, I dug the ballads a little bit, but I really like the heavier stuff that Journey did, and they just don't get enough credit for that, which blows my mind, man. Because
Anytime
they wrote some
is
really
my
good
favorite
stuff.
song by Journey.
Yeah, they wrote some really good heavy stuff, man.
And who is that? Greg
Rossi.
Right? Yeah, he's the singer on that song.
Yeah. Another Journey.
Oh yeah.
And then just, boys and girls, if you don't realize it, Neil Sean started playing guitar with Santana when he was 17, and I think he joined Journey when he was 19.
Yeah.
And then the one that I think, the one that I think really, really, really put Journey on the map.
Oh, Frontiers for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I remember the video for
What was the track
Faithfully.
listing for that other than Faithfully?
Where is it? There it is up on top. Separate Ways. I wasn't a big fan of that one. Syndrome I loved. Separate Ways, from what I've learned about them, they were all going through divorce at the time, like all of them. Syndrome I love. Chain Reaction, After the Fall, Faithfully. But then you go to the side two. Edge of the Blade, fucking great song. Troubled Child, great song. Frontiers, great song. Rubicon, great song. I didn't really like Back Talk too much. I loved Faithfully. That was when I really started, like, Love It for Sting. Still Loving You and Faithfully were the first 2 true ballad songs that I like. Oh shit. I like Syndrome I Love a little bit more than Faithfully, just because I like the story behind it.
Yeah.
I'm on the road.
It's more of a songwriter's song for sure.
Yeah.
Here's one that came on yesterday right before I got to the casino that I just, again, about blew my speakers out. Marvin Gaye's Trouble Man.
Oh.
Holy shit, does he show his voice off in that song.
Yeah. Marvin Gaye had such a great voice, dude.
Well, this is just such a cool laid-back groove that's played in halftime, and he sings like almost double time throughout the whole song when he gets to the verse, just carrying out those notes, man. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Another this took Def Leppard to a whole new level. Like, you thought Pyromania took them somewhere.
They had to sell 4 million copies of that album to break even.
Right?
Imagine that. You got to go 4 times platinum just to get even. That's how expensive that album was to make.
Right. So here's another. This isn't an album, but it's a CD set. But it's Live at the
the O2.
Yeah. Again, Ultra Bridge.
Don't feel too sorry for them if they're selling out the O2.
No, and they did, man. And the cool thing, this has in the booklet, it has the lyrics and everything. With photos and stuff. It's nice. They do really nice shit, man. Like, I got some really nice Ultra Bridge merch that you think, like, one of them I'm named on the back of it. They only did like I want to say 500 of them, and my name's on the back.
Oh, that's awesome.
So here's the one that's opened.
Of course,
for some reason I had 2. I don't know why, but for some reason I had 2. But yeah, it's fucking Ultra Bridge, man. I keep trying to get Miles Kennedy on the show.
Another one that would be awesome. Another one that I lost that I wish I had was my original Zeppelin box set, because they never reissued that, and I don't think they're ever going to. The one that came out in the 90s?
Yeah. Yep. We just talked about this person.
Billy Squier.
Yep.
One of my favorite guitar songwriters ever.
Oh, Dude, right? Like,
you want to learn how to lay a beat down and put a guitar lick around it? Listen to Billy Squire.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll teach you.
Here's a super group.
Night
Ranger.
Oh, yeah. Saw them in
Oh,
concert, too. Brad Gillis is a monster guitar player.
Yeah. Oh, then look, there's another autographed CD of Ultra Bridge.
He just so happens to have.
That's it. We went through that entire crate of albums. I only brought one crate in because I didn't know how long it would take to go through it. So there you go. There's an entire crate. I did find this in the same crate, though. It's dusty. Remember Todd McFarlane?
Oh, absolutely.
The artist? There's this Spawn version of Jim Morrison.
That's awesome, dude.
And on the back, they have Jerry Garcia, James Hetfield, and Angus Young's Spawn version.
I didn't even know they had such a thing.
Somebody gave that to me, I believe. I wonder if it's worth any money.
Probably. Unless they made about 100 million of them.
Right. Wow, we just hit a wall because there's no more records to talk about. Tony Carey's still playing on my behind the scenes there. The same song has been looping. I bet they're Asia. Remember Asia? Fuck. Asia,
there's another super group.
Asia super group for sure, man. Asia. Yeah, that's it. My tote's empty, man. My tote of albums is empty. I have another one in the garage if you want to wait a minute.
What was the first record you bought with your own money?
I don't fucking remember, dude. I have no idea.
See, I totally remember it was Pyromania for sure.
Yeah. I think Jake gave me this one year for I think it was my birthday. It was, it's 30 Seconds to Mars. I like 30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah, they write a lot of good stuff too, man.
Yeah.
There's another band that just never took off because for whatever reason they didn't have a big hit.
Which is weird because they have a massive following. A massive following.
Well, in my opinion, they're the same as Corrosion of Conformity. They had a couple minor hits in the 90s when the Deliverance album came out, but they can play anywhere in the world without a problem. So I think you got the best of both worlds. You don't have to be mega famous, and you're making a decent living.
Yeah, true. My phone's being weird. Is your phone being weird lately?
No, but it goes through periods. You probably got towers down around you or something. That's what happens here.
It's just bizarre. Like sometimes it acts like it's sending a message and then it doesn't send a message. I'm like, why aren't you not sending the message? And I look at it, it's like thinking about it. Well, it's not that hard to send that message, man. It's just a simple little message. Like, come on, motherfucker.
Who do you have for phone service?
Verizon. I had T-Mobile forever, man, but then it just made financial sense to switch to Verizon.
I got AT&T, and so far they've been the best that I went from T-Mobile to them.
Yeah.
T-Mobile did not work inside the factory, so I would have to leave my phone in one spot or it wouldn't work. So every time I saw somebody that was actually on their phone and it was working, I said, who do you got for service? And the answer was always AT&T. So
see, and I had AT&T forever, but when I switched because T-Mobile had a new program out when I first got in real estate. That's how long I've had my phone number. I had AT&T for the first couple of years, and T-Mobile's new program was like $49.99 a month for everything. Business line, I'm like switching, and AT&T was such an asshole about letting my number go. It took like 3 days.
Oh, that was back in those days when they didn't want to port the phone number to a new carrier.
Yeah, like 2000, I want to say 2003 or 4.
You've had your phone number so long that I remember it. And think about how many phone numbers you remember, right? I remember my mom and dad's home phone, and I think I remember yours and maybe 2 others.
My home phone was 839-0064.
I'm not going to say ours because she still has it.
Oh, right on.
I still remember my locker combination at school.
28, 38, 28.
7-11-42.
Imagine the guy that has come up with combos. What's your job? I do the combinations for Master Lock. That's my job, man.
That'd be a cool job.
Yeah, it would
done
be
by
cool
a computer now, I'm most certain.
You think?
making up the combinations, yeah, because the computer's going to make sure that there's no duplicates in the sequence, and that's how we track serial numbers where I work.
Yeah.
Computer can do it in 2 seconds. Mark Winters might be able to do it in 2 seconds, but you're not going to be able to afford 100 Mark Winters at your business to do the counting.
No. Backwards and inverted.
Speaking of which, his album is out today, ladies and gentlemen. Go buy it, stream it.
Yeah, Jensen
Buy it again.
Jensen Buck messaged me earlier today.
Nice. Shout out to Jensen.
Yeah. He wanted to come on the show. Wants to come on the show again. And I was
and
like,
not be
dude.
sideways?
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. I was like, dude, I got time today. He's like, fuck, I'm working. And then Don Warnock, our good friend, he wanted to come back on the show. And so I was like, I didn't schedule something for today. He's like, I'm working. So Don's coming on April 14th.
Awesome.
And I gotta go and check because there's a couple people I gave opportunities for in April before I go back to Jensen and say, here's your date and time.
Yes. And just for the record, for the last time, that was a glitch in the system, which we made Riverside aware of. And this is all a process because it's new for everybody. We didn't realize we were such an early adopter of Riverside. So
no, we did not.
They've come a long way. And one thing you cannot do is rotate it if your guest moves his phone. And that's what happened. And Jensen was made aware of it. And for all the people who were naysayers, he approved of that episode being released. So we didn't do something to be an asshole to somebody. We wouldn't do that. I texted him immediately. Here's the deal, dude. I will not release it if you don't want me to. And he said, laugh out loud. I don't care. Which I thought was what he was going to say, which is why I approached him with it in the first place. You just know people, and he seemed like he kind of goes with the flow like I do. I would have said the same thing. Sorry, man, I'm the one that moved my phone. And for the whole episode, we thought that he was in portrait mode because that's how we were looking at each other.
Right. Exactly.
And just for the record, Riverside did reach out again at a higher level and say, can you explain what happened so that we can look into this? And I did. I sent him back an email and said, here's what happened.
Cool.
So they're very proactive, which is why we like them. You suffer through growing pains when their customer service reaches back out, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've always done that for me. So when I see negative things, and I know you do too, I like to try and say that's not been our experience.
Yeah, I do. Because I don't, everybody's learning by doing. Here's another thing that's interesting because we always have upload issues, right?
Right.
Without a guest, I'm at 99%. You're at 80. You're at 97%. When we have guests, I'm always like 30, 40, 50%. It's the weirdest thing, man.
Well, that is weird.
Right. I don't know. I don't know why that is.
And that's been the case here lately for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Like when we were talking to, what was his name the other day? I died twice. It was annoying,
So that was another one I didn't tell you about. We waited forever for his, and his never got past 94%. And then I finally had to have him log out and log back in, and then the upload completed.
That's so weird, man.
But we just got in a conversation. We talked for like 15 minutes, and I looked down. I'm like, dude, you're still at 94%. How about you log back out and log back in? So then I go to edit it, or make sure that it processed, and his track wasn't processed. So once again, I had to reach out to customer service and they fixed it, but it's not perfect when you're trying to record people who are in all parts of the country, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Which, shit happens.
Yeah. It's part of the charm of the show.
It ain't no big thing.
It's live. Warts and all.
It is live. Live. It's not Memorex. So if you want to be on the show, just go to chrisandmikeshow.com and scroll to the top and click register as a guest. And Mike gets that email. He forwards it to me. Then we get you dialed in. So a guy named Philip, which you messaged me. You forwarded me Philip's message. Philip Nekov. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Oh, we had Chad Valier on. He loved the Chad. He loved the Valier show. So he's chiming in to come on for the 21st at 5 p.m. CT. What's CT? Central Time with Deborah Masterson for Freedom Quest, a love story. I'm going to have to remind him that the 21st is it's 4 p.m., not 5 p.m.
Well, if he's talking Central Time, it would be 6 p.m. if it's Tuesday.
Okay. It is Tuesday.
If it's a Tuesday, we start at 6 Central Time, which is 4 your time.
Well, that's what I told him. We start Tuesdays 4 p.m. Center Time, which is 6 p.m. your time. Confirm you are good.
Yeah. It's part of the year I start at 5 and part of the year I start at 6. We're in the part of the year I start at 6.
Right. So letting him know that. There you go. We'll see what he says.
This says this guy powered his home for 8 years with 1,000 reclaimed laptop batteries arranged as packs recharged by solar panels using an engineered, fully off-grid system for a year.
You're right. That's what's crazy.
That's a lot of batteries, man.
Uh-huh. So we're going to get him on the show.
Nice.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about? Because I don't want to be that guy that just sits here filling space. You know what I mean? You know, because I mean, our shows are good. And I don't want to be that guy that's just like, okay, let's talk about something, Mike, just because we are viewers.
Well, that's what we're doing. We're just talking.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
Relax.
No,
we don't have to have something to talk about.
But this is true.
What did you do yesterday?
What did I do yesterday? What was yesterday?
Thursday.
So I had a closing, so I had to go get keys for that. I worked out. I went to the urologist, you know, because I do that a couple times a year because you have to. And I wore my Be Kind shirt. So when I get in there, I always ask when I go to the doctor. Because I walked in, it was crowded. Like the whole thing was crowded. So I walk in and I go to the front desk. Really cool lady receptionist, not receptionist, but the lady behind the counter takes your insurance card, sign in. I don't know if she's Jamaican or what, but she's really just fucking.
I still call him a receptionist too.
Okay, yeah, she's a super cool human, right? We've always had this little banter going back and forth. So I sign in and I go sit down in the one chair available, and she comes back and says, "Oh, Nikki." Comes back and calls me up. And I was like, hey, how late is he running? Because when I see a full office, a full waiting room, I'm like, how late is he? Because I'm not going to sit around for an hour. I'm like, sorry, time is valuable. So she's like half an hour. And she's like, oh, I love your shirt. Because it said, be kind. I'm like, thanks. And I said, I'm not going to be very kind if I'm sitting here for an hour. So I hear rumblings of laughter behind me, right? So I turn around, and it's literally probably a 15 by 15 waiting room. So I turn around, and a couple people make comments about my shirt, right? Then and somebody comes and gets a patient, and they're, oh, I love your shirt. I sit down, another one opens the door for somebody else coming out, and oh, I love your shirt. So I'm there 10 minutes before my appointment. So about 1:32, my appointment's at 1:30. I get called back at 1:32, and then she's like, oh, look at that. Chris is on his way back. So then I go back the door and blood pressure and stuff, like you do. And then the two other people see the shirt. Love your shirt. Love your shirt. I get into the room. Doctor comes in. We have our 2-3 minute conversation because it's just a follow up. And he's like, by the way, I love your shirt. This is the most comments I've gotten on that shirt of all the times I wore it.
You know what that tells me? That at the core, people really do just want to be nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as long as you don't watch the news, you realize that there's way more nice people out there than there are dickheads.
Agreed.
The dickheads and assholes are the minority, but they're so loud that they stand out, right? I spent the whole day at the casino yesterday with my buddy Joe, and we encountered way more nice people than we did not, you know?
Yeah.
I had one grumpy asshole that almost ran into me coming out of the bathroom, and I said, "Excuse me," even though it was clearly his fucking fault. And he just grumbled at me. Oh, whatever. Yeah. Because he probably lost, more money than he needed to, and he was in a bad mood, and whatever. 20 years ago, I'd have stood there and been like, you were the fucking asshole that ran into me, right? And I'm apologized. I would have explained why he was in the wrong, but it's like, he's never going to understand.
No.
I've come to the point just now I understand who's standing in front of me. I know you're not capable of understanding my explanation. You were wrong.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm apologizing to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not, I don't.
But that was one person out of hundreds. That's my point.
Right. When somebody apologizes, my reaction usually is, no need to apologize. Whatever the situation is, it is what it is. It's all good. Shit happens.
So here's the flip side of that. I'm in the bathroom and they have this fancy new, because this is a brand new casino. It just opened not even a year ago, I don't think. So I'm in the bathroom and the fucking hand dryer's not working. And I'm always trying to use the hand dryer as the soap anyway, so I was proud of myself for finally figuring out how to do it the right way,
Okay.
My hand dryer doesn't work. So I start laughing. I'm like, of fucking course it doesn't work. So I go to use the one next to me, and there's a guy that was going to use that sink. And I was like, oh, man, I'm so sorry, dude. I said, I finally figured the shit out, and mine doesn't work, right? He just starts laughing. He's like, it's all good, man. It's all good.
Yeah.
That's more what I encountered than the guy who was grumbling at me. That's my point.
Yeah.
We had a good laugh about it. It's like, hey, I finally figured out the soap's over here and the fucking dryer's over here and mine doesn't work. Then I try and interrupt you,
Yeah. And see, I don't necessarily like the air dryers. I prefer
they don't
paper
work,
towels.
dude.
No.
I walked out there, my hands were wet every fucking time.
So when you go to like a convenience store, gas station type, right? They always have hot dogs and food for sale.
Yes.
Right. So I won't use the hand dryers. I'll walk out of the bath. I'll shake my hands out, walk out of the bathroom, beeline for wherever the napkins are, grab 5-6 napkins, dry my hands, throw it away.
That's genius.
Yeah. I'm just, because I don't like the hair dryers at all. I don't
either. They just don't work.
No. At all. So
if I could walk out of there without wet hands, I'd use them every time. I don't like them either.
So I've always learned just to use the paper towels or napkins, whatever they have.
I'm going to start doing that. I don't know why I never thought of that myself.
Yeah. Man, it's all good. It's crazy.
Remember when they had that old fucking shit where you pulled look like an old man's undershirt down?
Yes, that's fucking terrible. Oh, the diseases that were on that thing.
Can you imagine?
No, dude.
I hated those things even as a kid.
And then, and it's supposed to be sanitary because it rolls through. Fuck you, it doesn't clean. It's all nasty and brown and shit, man.
Some of those things were just disgusting.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible, dude. And they say that with the hand dryers that you put your hand, they say they're just as unsanitary.
I just heard that on Rogan. He said he called it shit dust. He's like, those things, all it does is blow the shit dust around.
So here's the thing that I've done, and I've done this way before COVID. So whenever I'm in, like when Nick and I go dance on Saturday nights at Denim and Diamonds, it's the old school bathroom where every urinal is lined up, so you can look over and wow, God bless you. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, dude, you're going to have a hard time getting anybody with that. You know what I mean? One of those things, right? And then you have the row, and then you have all the sinks tied together, right? There's like 10 sinks, and you have like probably 30 urinals, and then you have single stall thrones, right?
Yep.
And then it's a typical country western bar where you have the shelf above the urinal so you can put your beer, Well, when you're washing your hands, kids, if you turn the faucet on, you get your hands wet, then you get the soap, then you wash your hands like under the faucet, clean, clean, clean. But then if you have to grab the paper towel dispenser, go whacka, 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 whacka to get paper towels out, you just uncleansed your hand. So for the OCD people in the world, you whacka, whacka the paper towel first. Then you take that paper towel, whacka, whacka again, open up the faucet, put the paper towel behind the faucet. I know. Get the soap, wash your hands, use that paper towel, shut the faucet. then you already have a paper towel there ready. So you pull the new paper towel off, then you whack again to get the right amount of paper towels to dry your hands. Then your hands are clean.
I'm laughing with you, and here's why.
I know.
I've had MRSA 4 times, and I learned to do shit like that because people are disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when I used to do the homeless stuff, feed homeless 4 or 5 times a month, that was one of the things that you had to take the food handlers class. You had to be mindful, like doing that, just scratching the tip of my nose. No, boys and girls, wasn't a pick right there. I would have I'd have to go wash my hands again. So I learned that from doing that it's just, you don't.
And that's a good habit to get out of when you're in public too, is you just said it, touching your face, because that's where I got it the first time, was like right here on my jaw.
Yeah.
Blew up like a golf ball.
I saw this thing the other day. I think it was Instagram about Japan. So we know this from Jake. When Jake was in Japan 2 years, he says it's the cleanest city he's ever been in.
I remember him saying that on the first time he was on the podcast.
So check this out. You are not allowed to eat while standing up in Japan. If you're on a train, you're not allowed to speak. You have to respect the silence. You're not allowed to talk on your phone in public because you're not supposed to let everybody else hear your conversation. Case in point, yesterday when I was at the grocery store, some dumbass is walking through one of the aisles. He's got his phone out like this on speaker. It's not my job to be your PR representative. Meanwhile, he's wearing clothes that he probably just rolled out of bed in, that he's been wearing for a week, completely disheveled hair. And he's probably some IT guy talking, it's not my job to be your PR representative. It's not my problem that you blah, blah, blah. The whole fucking store.
And then you hear the other person on the other end going,
it's like, dude, it's like nobody wants to hear your conversation. So in Japan, legit, you cannot have a conversation in public on your phone.
I like that.
You have to respect the silence on the train. You can't eat while standing. You have to sit down and eat. No shoes allowed in businesses or homes, which I've always known that. Most people do know that about that.
Stop
culture.
right there. Okay? That's where most of the germs come in your home. I have the same rule here.
Yeah.
On the bottom of your shoes. Because you're out in public.
Public, right. There's no litter allowed, and there's no garbage allowed, so there's no receptacles in public. You cannot jaywalk. Like, you're not allowed to jaywalk at all, anywhere.
No, that's a serious offense, right?
Right. No matter if it's a surface street, neighborhood street, or, a busy street, you are not allowed to jaywalk.
But the crazy thing to me is those people have that so ingrained in their culture, they wouldn't think of doing it anyway. Right. Like we would think of doing it. Fuck you, don't tell me what to do. I'm going to cross right here. That wouldn't even enter their mind. That's fascinating to me.
Yep.
That proves that your DNA carries so much of your, that's why we still have these crazy Puritan values in our DNA. It's irrational, but they're there.
Yeah.
We're not really those people. We haven't been those people for a long time. They haven't been those people for a long time, but everything you just said has been carried over for probably 1,000 years.
Yeah.
It's called respect.
RESPECT, find out what it means to me.
But think about every rule you just said. It's thinking about the other person.
And I don't know how much it's a rule, but it's just what their culture. I guess it is a rule. It's their culture, yeah. It is their culture for sure.
I've seen videos of those Japanese women out there like sweeping their storefront sidewalk. There's nothing there. I'm like, what are you sweeping?
Right.
There's one little piece of trash right there,
Flakes. Yeah.
We just don't have the same respect for our society.
We don't.
I noticed that driving down the road yesterday, which is in disrepair.
Well, and you notice to drive down the road and people flick stuff out of their vehicles, their windows, and litter bugs and shit like that. It's like, come on, man. Like, really?
Yeah. Still to this day, you have people who don't realize they live in the middle of the desert and they're flicking their cigarettes out the window.
Oh, yeah. 2 days ago, driving one of those stupid little Chevy PT Cruisers, I think they were. The guy's got his window down and legit.
You're in the desert.
Cigarette butt.
Things burn.
Granted, it was on the freeway, but it's like, dude, are you really so, like, number one, you're smoking in your car.
I was guilty for a long time myself.
Oh yeah. And then you flick the cigarette out of your car and, I never understood what the chains were like. You're not allowed to have no dragging chains. They don't want you having chains. That's because it sparks. It sparks.
Oh
in
yeah.
Arizona, and then they can lead to fires. I never do that. I saw something. I was like, "What the fuck does that mean?" And then I learned, oh, that's what that means. Interesting.
I used to see that back in the 90s with a lot. Must have been the car haulers, not the semi-car haulers, but the guys who would buy the big, huge pickup trucks, and they would put a fifth wheel on it,
Yeah.
They would have those chains dragging on the freeway, and you'd see the sparks coming out behind them.
Yeah.
Like, that can't be safe.
No, it can't be. I don't know how that would be safe.
We live in the middle of an inferno, and you're making more fire.
Yeah, which is crazy, right? What'd you do yesterday?
I went to the casino. Played hooky.
Did you not
from
work?
I worked for 4 hours.
Oh, gotcha.
We have a time limit on our personal time, and that time limit is up next week. So
you got to take it.
You either take it or you get paid out for it. And if they're going to pay me to not be there, guess who's not going to be there? This guy.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So my buddy Joe and I went to the casino, and the first thing that I said when I walked through the door was, I know we're in the same boat, buddy, but I'm always fascinated when you walk through the door at 11 o'clock in the morning, all the people who have nothing better to do than sit here and play games at the casino, right?
Right.
Now, they could all be like me. A lot of them were senior citizens. I get it.
Right.
You're retired. You served your time. But the people that are our age, I guess, they work different shifts or whatever. There's always an explanation, but it's just fascinating. Right. That many people have nothing better to do at lunchtime on a Thursday than go gamble.
Well, and see, I'm a big believer, and I don't like the most I've ever gambled at all was this year in football. I played the Super Bowl squares for Mesa Rotary Club that I'm in, and I won one of the quarters. So the $200 I invested in to the whatever app we use to gamble, I made it all back. So I'm actually up $6 for the year.
Nice. So here's what I do.
Yeah.
I had a problem because, I have an addictive personality, and it took until that. I just told Joe that story yesterday. That was the addiction that I finally went, you dumb motherfucker. Things that you really like that are bad for you, for some reason, you gravitate towards. So stop. And my story to him was, I walked up to the craps table. It was probably 11 o'clock in the morning on a Thursday because I used to work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 12 hours a day. That was my shift.
Right.
So the rest of the week I had off, and I would go to the casino and play craps. One day I got there, and in an hour and a half, I won $6,000.
Nice.
Now, I didn't really know what I was doing. The guy at the end of the table probably won close to $100,000.
Oh, fuck.
The guy next to him probably won $25,000 to $30,000 because I rolled for almost an hour.
Wow.
And I didn't know what I was doing betting wise. So I just kept trying to follow what they were doing, but with not nearly as much money. Right. At the end of that session, the guy at the end of the table gave me $500 tip, and his buddy gave me a $250 tip. That's how I know they want a fuck ton of money.
Right on.
3 months later, that money was gone.
Oh yeah.
Because that's how the casino works. Right.
Right.
That was my tip to say, here's what I'm going to do. The very next April, when I got my tax return, I stuck that in an envelope, and if I lose that, I can't gamble anymore, right? You got to set limits for yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
So when people find out I gamble, automatically they think that's a negative thing. First off, sports betting actually makes me money. That's a profit center for me.
Right.
So sometimes I take that profit from sports betting and I put it in that envelope if I need to, right? Okay. That's my other source of income for gambling.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you have to have your mindset. I know where you were going. Most people are like, I don't want to lose my money. It just seems irrational.
Well, yeah, I just work too hard for it. And because of what I do for a living, there's no guarantee. I don't get paid every week or every 2 weeks like normal human beings do. I can go 6 months without getting a paycheck. Right. Because I'm completely 100% dependent on the market. Doesn't matter how hard I work. Doesn't matter how much marketing I do, how much advertising I do, how much grinding I do. It doesn't matter.
Well, for lack of a better term, you're Chris Dunham Enterprises. Right. You're not getting a paycheck from anybody else.
No, and it's legit. It's all dependent on the market. Like and I have to fucking overcome people's rationalizations of, this market's this market's that. And I'm like, well, it's really not. Like, it's just not. Like, you can't have a real estate market without buyers buying and sellers selling, and you need a buyer to buy the house that seller's selling. I was like, so.
Well, here's the same in Illinois. I just heard it on the news. They were crying yesterday about there's a shortage in inventory in homes. Okay. But if you listen to what they have been saying up until that news story, you would think that nobody could sell their home right now.
Right.
You can't have it both ways. We've had this conversation before, but I literally just heard it, and I thought of you right away when they said that. They're like, people are just desperate to buy a home. Well, it's a re-election year for the governor, right? Now we're talking about, I'm going to solve that housing crisis that didn't exist 6 months ago. People are stupid, man. They're easily led.
It's clickbait.
Hold on. Let me rewind that. I got to stop saying that. People don't have time to be informed. It's not that they're stupid. They literally don't have time in their day to sit there and figure out that everything they hear is doublespeak. They might have only heard what I heard yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, for 6 months you've been telling me that if I wanted to sell my house, there's no way on hell you're ever going to sell your house.
Right. That's the thing that people don't understand, because we get that all the time. Like, the housing market, we're flooded with inventory. I did a search yesterday that a referral called me thinking about selling this house that has a tenant in it, and the tenant's locked in until September. So I was like, okay, right away, we can't offer FHA or VA buyers because they have time constraints to be in the house. FHA, you buy a house, you got to be in there with 30 days. VA within 90 days. I said, so we're limited to investors only. I said, so if it's required 24-hour notice to show, then you got to have 24 hours notice to show, which means if I want to show the house today, I can't. I got to schedule for tomorrow. My buyer might not be available tomorrow. So there's 3 things that you're up against the wall right away. And understand, this is how I approach everything, because I don't want to put a sign in the yard just to say, yeah, I got a sign in the yard. So we left the conversation based that we're going to revisit this in August when we're 30 days out from lease expiring, hit the ground running, start marketing, start doing our thing. But when talking to him, we were kind of talking about the inventory. I said, okay, look, I'm going to go on to our MLS system. And right away I typed in, just active, 26,000 active properties in all of Maricopa, Pinal County, which is our 2 biggest counties, but also now pulls from some northern cities like Sedona, Flagstaff, Prescott, Pine Top, Show Low, all those kind of things. It also pulls stuff from Mexico now, Rocky Point. It pulls stuff from the southern border towns, like across the border. So you're picking up all the stuff. If you just go in and type in Maricopa and Pinal County, that drops to just under 19,000, 18,994 as of yesterday, which was March 26th. Okay. His house is in Gilbert. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,597 square feet with 2-car garage. So I took it 3-bed, 2-bath, active, 1,600 square feet with 2-car garage. So we go from 26,000 to just under 19,000 to 312 in all of Gilbert.
Right. See, that's what I was thinking about was when you said that, you have to define, what are you looking for?
Right.
There might be 400,000 homes for sale, but there's only 300 that you can choose from.
Right. Right. And 400,000 homes for sale, we'd be fucked. I know, but that's a huge
That was
number.
a huge,
I know.
I know. That was a huge exaggeration.
When I started this in 1999, 1999/2000, there was between 33 and 35,000 properties for sale. That's condos, townhouses, patio homes, single family homes, and manufactured mobile homes on land. Okay. That was my average, 33,000 to 35,000. And back then it really was just Maricopa and Pinal County, because the MLS wasn't big as it is now. It's grown over the years.
Yeah. My scenario would be a mass exodus.
Right. So yeah, a total mass exodus. Like when our market crashed, there was about 50 to 70,000 in a given time.
Wow.
Right. When our market was smoking hot before the crash in 2006, 7, 8, whoever you talked to, there was like 2,500 houses. That's where people were lining up to see a house and lines out the door, all of which was media induced.
Sure.
All of it. COVID created this chaos with the housing market in Arizona. It was all COVID related. It was all media related. So now look in our market now, it's all media generated. Oh, the housing market's slow. Oh, the housing inventory is upset. Guess what, kids? When COVID hit, builders stopped building. When COVID hit. When the market crashed the first time in 2006, 7, 8, depending on where your market was and who you talked to, builders stopped building. There's about a 6-month gap where builders stopped building. Because of that gap, we're still about 1 million plus shortfall when it comes to housing for Americans.
And a lot of that COVID gap, I know you're talking about the crash, but there was a gap during COVID too, but that was all artificial due to not being able to get supplies, not because people didn't want to build stuff.
Right.
They were waiting. We waited. You know, I work for a manufacturer too. We waited for product that we needed to make our product. Supply chain. You know, when they kept saying there were supply chain issues, you had a bump in the market, but look how the market recovered since then.
Yeah.
It's going to always recover or it's going to fail. The shit's an illusion.
Yeah, because how much really was it with supply chain? Like, really, did you really run out of toilet paper, or did you just want to say, hey, let's fuck with the world?
No, you just said it. So manufacturing had the same lag that you talked about in the housing market, right?
Yeah.
There was, it wasn't that there was a supply chain issue. It was that it got disrupted. So it took it's like trying to stop a freight train, right?
Yeah.
The guy wants to stop before he kills you because you're on the tracks. There's no way he can do it.
Right.
It takes a mile to stop that freight train. So once again, it was an illusion. You had to catch up. Everybody had to catch up because people stopped not knowing what to do. So they stopped making steel. We don't know if we need it. Right. Now you got to wait for those factories to start back up. We got to wait for them to make the steel to make the product we make. It's all an illusion. The stock market's an illusion. The housing market's an illusion. You just said it. A lot of this bullshit is created by the media because what do people watch? The news. Constantly.
And if they don't watch the news, they read the headlines. And because they just read a headline
instead
of reading the story, if you don't read the story, I guarantee you 95% of the time, the headline has nothing to do with the outcome of the story they're writing about.
No, it just wants to keep you engaged into that channel so that you watch the commercials so they can sell more of them.
It just wants a response to the headline, I think. It has nothing to do with staying on the channel. It has nothing to do with reading the story. They just want your knee-jerk reaction to the response because the more likes, not necessarily likes, the more reactions and the more comments on the thread, then the more popular that news channel is. I do it all the time when something comes up. I'm like, I read the article, I'll chime in, I'm like, do better. It's the article has nothing to do with the title. Nothing.
We are literally the living definition. We used to say it and it was true, but now it's more true than ever. There is no bad publicity.
No.
Because you're being paid, like you said, for the eyes and time on your content.
Yep.
Which is a bad way to run a system because it promotes lies, manipulations, AI, you know, all these things that people can use for nefarious reasons are going to be exploited. And obviously, just like the asshole in the room is always the loudest, the fakest shit is always the stuff for whatever reason that the average person grabs onto. I don't understand it, but I've come to the conclusion they just don't have the time to educate themselves. They're raising a family, they're working at a job, whatever. You know, you don't have time to dig into, did the president really say that? Did that congressman really do that? Do you really have the time to look into all that bullshit?
Yep. I don't think they do. I think people are they become complacent because it's headline news. The journalists don't actually promote and share true stories anymore. It's all entertainment. When I was in journalism school, we had to do a stopwatch timer of when, and this was back in 1991. We had a stopwatch, and we had to time a 30-minute newscast of actual news. Okay, not sports. Sports was taken out, so you got cut down to like 22 minutes. 3 minutes, I think, if I remember correctly, was actual hard factual news that was reported in that 30-minute broadcast, taking out sports because sports was considered entertainment, taking out all the commercial breaks. You have 3 minutes of actual concrete news that could be fact checked and verified. And weather, took out weather. Weather and sports were out of the mix, but weather was an average of 4 minutes long, and sports was an average of 6 minutes long because, you know, everybody watches the news back then because they want to see the sports, and you couldn't fast forward. You had to sit through the news segment to wait for sports. It doesn't count traffic in the mornings. It was an evening broad, like a 6 o'clock news was the assignment. We had to, and it was maybe 3 minutes of total, actual relevant news.
That is
Good or bad.
crazy.
Good or bad. Everything else was banter. Hey, Mike, how you doing today, man? Hey, I just drove in today from the east side, and hey, man, there was a wreck on the freeway, and it was crazy. They had all these tires that came off this truck. It was insane.
You got
man.
any big plans for the weekend?
No plans, man. No plans at all. Maybe going to go fishing with my son if he comes home or not.
That's great, Chris. Really that's great.
Right.
And that is how it goes.
Yeah, it was just banter, which, Anchorman kind of, for lack of a better example, the fluff in news, the way they do that shit in Anchorman.
It was a great representation of it. It's my exaggeration of 400,000 homes for sale, right? That was an exaggerated version of how the news is, but there was 98% truth in what they were telling you.
Yeah.
And back then, for sure, because you had to be the number one. It was my same point to Paul about the radio DJ back in the day, man. They were the person that you looked up to.
Absolutely.
Your Walter Cronkite, even your local news guy. He was the local news guy, but he was the number one local news guy. Every market has that.
Yeah.
Who do you like to listen to? Well, I always go to this guy because more often than not, it's the filler that keeps you coming back. As odd as that sounds. Yeah.
The person, and then they always had that mystique because you couldn't get into a radio station. The doors, everything was vacuum sealed. TV stations vacuum sealed. You couldn't breach that thing. That movie Airheads with Brendan Fraser and Adam Sandler and Steve Buscemi, where they're trying to get into where they're trying to get into the radio station to have their music played. That's true. Like when I did stuff on radio as my own on air side of it, I'm on the air. I had a radio show on iHeart. Okay. And I could get in the building with my card. I go up to my floor with my card. I couldn't get past the lobby of the elevator lobby with a card.
Because
I had to wait for my producer.
They don't want everybody having access to that microphone for sure.
I'm not in the microphone, dude. When I come up to the floor of my show, which was the third floor, I had to wait until my producer, Steve Giannini, came and opened the door. And I had access I could go to the building. Like I had a show. Like I wasn't some punk ass coming from the street. I had a show, but I still couldn't breach that door unless somebody breached it for me. Mark Jeffrey, sometimes he'd come get me because again, I couldn't get past that door and I was an on-air personality. When I did my spots with KUPD, KSLX and KDKB, I'd go to the front entrance of the thing and they'd have to buzz me in. And then I go into a lobby that's, kind of like it's just a lockdown lobby. Who are you here to see? Well, I'm, J. David Holmes was KUPD. I'm here to see J. David Holmes. We're doing a commercial for my real estate. Oh, who are you? I'm Chris. Oh, you're the real estate guy. Yeah, that's me. Okay, well, have a seat. He'll be right out. So I'd have to sit, and then you'd hear the buzz, and then J. David would open the door and say, "Come on back, Chris." But that's the thing. It's lockdown. So from a listener, that's where Aerosmith's going to be because they announced Aerosmith's in studio Tuesday.
And that's why, because too many crazy fucking people showed up back in the day.
Right.
Either to get a look at, if you go back as far as like the Wolfman Jack days now, that was really, nobody even knew what that guy looked like. There's no video. There was no. You might see him in a newspaper article or something once in a while, and rarely would there be a photo of a radio DJ, So that guy was just a voice in the night or a voice in the morning or.
Yep.
Then you found out that was a real person, and all of a sudden people probably started flooding the radio stations. And then past that, like you said, the band's going to be there. Oh my God, Def Leppard's going to be at such and such studio. Aerosmith, the Rolling Stones, they're going to go talk to whoever.
Yep.
So then it became a building with no windows and a big tower.
I remember in Dave Pratt's heyday, he was going down the I-10 with Tommy Lee from Motley Crue in a bulldozer because somehow Tommy convinced a construction worker to give him a bulldozer, and they're driving down the I-10 towards, oh fuck, it's PIR now. What the hell was that? Compton Terrace, driving towards Compton Terrace in a bulldozer. Him and Pratt in a bulldozer.
That's where I saw White Zombie.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
But that kind of shit, that's the allure of disc jockeys. That's the thing that, these guys had. They had
when I moved to Phoenix, he was the man.
Heroes. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, and still is. I mean, to me, it's just a different era. You know,
it is.
You can't, just like you said when we were kids and we went to a concert, you can't recreate that for these kids now today because there's too much exposure of every band that they like, and there's just not that air of mystique that there was back then.
Right. Yep. It's a crazy thing about disc jockeys, man. They had that. And the same thing with, I remember when I had, when I worked for SeaWorld, there was a SeaWorld office out in Arizona, and I was dressed up as Shamu. So in the late 80s, 88 to probably 90, I was in college, high school, so 87 to 89, any commercial you saw on TV with Shamu, you know, the like, you know, Mickey Mouse Disneyland character.
Oh yeah.
Shamu, that was me. And then we did it with Dave Muncy, because Dave Muncy had this whole summer of supervision spiel he did every summer for
I remember that name too.
Watch Your Kids Run Right. So when I met Dave Muncy, when we were in the house, because it was just filmed in the backyard of the pool, you know, it's kind of like, you're Dave Muncy, you know, even though I was never one of those aw shucks kind of people. Like I never was, aw shucks, you're Dave Muncy. Holy shit. You know?
Yeah. I'm not going to faint or anything, but everybody has that moment of, wow,
right.
You know, that guy's really standing in front of me.
Right. So, and really it wasn't even that, because really I've never seen somebody on TV, and then when I see him in person, like, you know, it's like I met Steve-O, and it's like, what's up, man? There was nothing, you know. He was more intrigued with who I was, why I was at Our Heart Studio, than I was who he was and why he was there.
They're just people.
Now, when I met Jeff Schwartz, the center for the Giants, the 2 errors with Eli, that was fun because of the size difference.
Right.
Like that, we ran into each other in the hallway, and me being a dumbass, I'm like, can you get any taller? And he kind of looks down and he kind of chuckled, and he reached out, hey, I'm Jeff. I was like, hey, I'm Chris. I'm like, what are you doing here? He goes, I was on the Fox Sports show. Oh, I was like, right on, I run my own show, you know, and we had a little banter. And then Steve Giannini is like, why don't you guys take a picture? I said, that'd be fun. Let's go in your studio and do it. That's the picture I have with his elbow on my head.
Oh yeah, that's a good shot, man.
Right. And that's just, but that's like, I got my suit. I had a suit getting fixed one day, and I was at Brothers Tailoring in downtown Phoenix, and I walk in to pick it up, and Tom Chambers is there, the 6'11" center for the Suns, who's pretty famous.
Him at Marley's place. Yeah, he's huge.
Pretty famous guy in Phoenix. And so there's a dressing table that's probably 4 feet high, and he was sitting on it. Okay. His ass was on the table, and his legs were bent, and his feet were on the ground, 4 feet tall. So I'm come up to like his like between his chest and his belly button, just from that aspect. So, and I knew who he was. I recognized him. I'm like, they can't find you a chair, huh? And he chuckled. And I was like, hey, you know, I followed the Suns. Nice, you know, I don't remember what I said, but it wasn't like, oh, can I have autograph Tom Chambers? You know, I just, you know, he's like, what are you here for? I said, I'm getting a suit fixed. I said, you know, obviously you're doing something with the suit. And we kind of chuckled, but
one of the funniest things I saw was Amari Stoudemire come into Guitar Center with his entourage, and he can't hide himself because nobody's as tall as Amari Stoudemire. So all his bodyguards were huge, but he's like 6 inches taller than anybody that was next to him.
Right. And when you come in with, do you really need an entourage? Like, really? You just need one person. You really only need one person, maybe 2, a driver and somebody that's hanging out with you. But I don't need 6 people. That's why they're broke. That's why Odell Beckham blew through $100 million in 5 years. Because he's stupid.
True. Just be cool.
Nobody
and he
needs
was. I mean, it
people.
wasn't like he was arrogant or anything. But yeah, all those guys are on the payroll. I agree with you.
Yeah. Nobody needs. Now, Entourage, the TV show Entourage, HBO, that's based on Mark Wahlberg's life when he went to Hollywood.
Yes.
Did you know that?
That's a great show. Yeah. That's why I watched it.
Right. So that shows you his 3 or 4 guys, which I could see that, because you're going from here to there, and you're going from nobody to everybody knows your name. You need to have some type of comfort shield around you, especially when all of a sudden your life is microscoped.
Well, there's levels of fame too. He's attained a level of fame that's higher than most people. Prince, Michael Jackson,
yes,
Tom Cruise. You know, they can't just go to the grocery store.
True, which sucks, which is fucking terrible. But I still don't think you need 5 people, because what attracts you more? If I see 5 people walking around one person, I'm gonna see that quicker than I'm gonna see the one person walking.
Yeah, I wish I could remember who it was. There was a super, and I gotta commit these things to memory better. There was a super famous person was David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
He drove himself to Rogan's podcast. Yeah.
In a Toyota.
And Camry. Joe's like, do you always, are you always by yourself? Don't you have bodyguard or what? He's like, no, man, I've always been like this. And he kind of alluded to what you said. Mm-hmm. You're way less conspicuous if you're by yourself than you are if you have 5 people with you.
Yeah. Remember the Harrison Ford thing we showed where he was like ducking those people? Yeah. Right? If he would have wore a hat and had sunglasses on, nobody would have fucking recognized him. Yep. He would have been an old man walking in the streets of New York. So to me, it's a conscious decision not to wear a hat and sunglasses.
Sure. Even if it's not conscious, it's like, look at me. On some level.
Because it's not hard to disguise yourself very low key in a city like New York. There's millions and millions of people.
And that's a walking city, so there's always people around.
Right. I saw something the other day on Instagram. Some guy was walking, and they picked him up because he's wearing this overly obnoxious fur coat with different colors and shit. So somebody's like, you could see him, the camera come on. He's following. Hey man. The guy finally says, "Who are you? Who are you? With that coat, you have to be somebody. You're not just nobody wearing that coat." And the guy was Andrew Pillay or something. I've never heard of the guy. So they're having a little conversation, but it's like, okay, don't wear the coat. Nobody fucking gives a shit.
Exactly.
Justin Timberlake, if you haven't seen his DWI footage from, it's dude was hammered. You have all the money in the world. There's no reason you can't have a driver. You can't take an Uber.
I said the same thing.
And it was funny when he was in the car, he waited till about 2 or 3 minutes into it. Well, I'm Justin Timberlake. Well, what are you doing? Well, I'm on a world tour. Well, what's that? What's a world tour? Yeah. What's a world tour? Really? I'm touring the country. I'm touring the world with my band. I'm a singer, songwriter, musician. My name's Justin Timberlake. Maybe you've heard of me. But he skirts around it, He skirts around it, which I thought was crazy.
While you look that up, I got to take a leak.
No, I was just spawning the Nicky. Oh, we can bounce, dude. I got laundry and shit to do. I got to finish cleaning my house and stuff, so we can wrap this fucker up.
Wrap her up.
Then you can go to the bathroom and all that kind of jazz, and edit content. Who's airing Sunday?
I'll tell you as soon as we're done.
Okay, so boys and girls, this is the Chris and Mike show. We've chatted your ear off for a little over an hour and a half. Thank you for listening and joining us. The journey down vinyl records. If you're feeling sad, suicidal, depressed, hopefully this show has helped you not feel that way. If you still feel that way, go for a jog, go work out, go scream in a pillow, go find somebody to talk to. If you cannot find someone, text 988. Somebody's there waiting to talk to you and help you feel better about yourself and what you're going through. Do not leave a hole in somebody else's heart by not waking up tomorrow. Tomorrow is a better day with you. And I know I say it all the time, and we always close with this, but don't feel like we're being complacent, because we truly have been impacted by this in our own personal lives. So just, don't be that person that takes your own life. Don't do that. Until next time, which will be April, right? No, we have one more show. We have one more show in March. See you later, Mike. Love everybody.
Go.
Peace. Stop it. Stop it. Peace.
But we gonna fly